Hi everyone, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Sunday. It's a snowy, well, it's actually a beautiful sunny Sunday here on the West Coast, although we still have probably over a foot of snow in our front yard. So hopefully it'll warm up soon and get rid of it. It's quite icy out there. But today I wanted to share with you a sneak peek from the upcoming mini catalog. This is, I think, bar none, my favorite suite in the catalog. It's called By the Bay. It's a whole suite of products, including a bundle, designer series paper, ribbon, and the most, oh gosh, so pretty. They're called flat adhesive backed pearls. So the embellishments, I just love the embellishments. Hey, Nancy. So I wanted to share this with you. I kind of moved on from Christmas cards and holiday cards, I have to admit. And so I thought I would share a sneak peek from this. Now, this is the bundle or the suite that we are using for the upcoming Creativity Bound Stamp Camp in February. So if you've never participated in one of these, or if you have participated in one of these stamp camps, they're amazing. If you purchase the suite from a demonstrator that is on the design team, and we have demonstrators in myself in Canada, we have 4 demonstrators in the US, 4 in Australia, and 3 in the UK. So no matter where you are in the world, you can actually participate in this. Hello, Darlene, Ellen, welcome. So if you want more information on it, there is information on my Facebook group and page, and I'll be sharing information. So the way you participate in this, you purchase the suite from one of the demonstrators, and that means you will get 13 projects using this suite. You get make and take kits with 13 projects, as well as the instructions and YouTube videos. And in addition, you will get invited to a Facebook group where you will get 13 bonus projects using this suite. So it's always a really fun event. We do it over about a 26-hour period starting midday or mid-afternoon Pacific time on the Friday and carry on through Saturday night in North America. No matter where you are, there's lives going on throughout the day and night, and that you can watch on the replay. All right, let me get started on this. I digress, but I'm so excited about this. Hey, Betty. Hey, Susan. About this suite and about the Stamp Camp. All right, so this is the Seaside Bay bundle. I absolutely love these images. This sandpiper and then these little sandpipers for the beach. This is a really pretty one with seashells and kind of sand. I'm going to use this one today and try and incorporate the pearls that come with it. So you end up with the images, as well as the dies to cut those images, as well as extra dies to cut additional images, some of the seashells, some grass images, and then if you want kind of a border, there's one here as well. So that's the bundle. I'm not going to show you all the designer series paper, but it is a specialty paper. It's 6x6. This is the one I'm using today. So it's specialty because it either has gold or pearlized strips or bits running through it. The other side of this one is this really pretty one with all of the different images. So I'm going to use this one. Kind of looks like waves to me. I'm going to make a joyful card with this. Now these are the flat adhesive backed pearls. Gosh, they're so pretty. So you get the 2 different sizes. There's 80 pearls in this. Just so pretty. They're iridescent pearls. Beautiful DSP. Oh, this whole suite is beautiful. Okay. So I've gone ahead and cut out Night of Navy. So this is 4 1/4. I started out with this as 4 1/4 by 11. And what I've done is cut off a strip that is 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. And I'm going to use that on the card. So again, this is joyful. Hey, Mashwari. So we're going to score this. This is the main card base. We're going to score this at 5 1/2. So that's going to be the main card base. And then this piece will actually, if you've ever made a joyful card, it folds here. So we're kind of got half of the card front. And then this piece that we've cut off of here turns sideways. So we're going to take this and we're going to score it at 1/4 of an inch. And that's going to be, that little 1/4 of an inch is going to be what we actually use to adhere to the card base. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to grab my bone folder and fold and burnish. Always fold into the raised line of the mountain. And then this one, we're just going to fold over that little 1/4 inch flap. And now I'm going to use tear and tape. This tear and tape is, I think it's 1/4 of an inch wide. It's just fits on here. Let's use my silicone mat so I don't, if it goes over the edge. It's a touch wider, but we can kind of just tuck that in. So I'm going to butt it right up against that score line. And then grab my take your pick tool and just pull off this backing. There we go. So it is a little bit wider, so you can actually take and just kind of tuck that up over so it doesn't spot the little extra bit. Now, so this is going on the left, this fold here, and then this is going to align right up against this left or the right edge of our card base. Now, I'm not going to measure. I probably should. So if you're really worried about making sure this is exactly halfway, I'm just using my grid lines to kind of make sure that I'm roughly in half. And I'm having a hard time here because it's wanting to stick. So sorry if my fingers are in the way. I'm hoping that's pretty close. So we're just lining up that with that right edge. Oh, it's echoing. Gosh, sorry. Let me see. Is that better? Sorry, guys. If hopefully that echo has gone. Maybe I'll start again with some of what I was talking about. Somebody can just let me know that the echo is gone. I muted my one device. Sorry about that. I should have done that earlier. Okay, the echo's gone. Perfect. Sorry. Okay, so let's kind of start again. Hopefully this isn't too much of a repeat. Okay, so your card base is 4 1/4 by 11, and you're going to cut a piece off of the end that is 2 3/4 by 4 1/4, and then that piece so you're going to score your card base at 5 1/2, and then you're going to score that piece that you just cut off at 1/4 of an inch and adhere it aligned with the left-hand side of the right-hand side of your card base. I'm all fuffled because of that echo. Sorry. Now, as I said, the tear and tape is just a little bit wider. So if you get a little bit of extra adhesive kind of showing, use your if you've got an adhesive eraser, you can use that to kind of get rid of the stickiness. You could also use your, where did it go? Embossing buddy, and just take and rub over that, and that gets rid of some of the stickiness if you've got extra. Okay, so that's the card base for the Joy Fold. Now, I cut 2 pieces of designer series paper. Now, this one is directional. So the front card base, I kind of want the waves to be going the way waves would go. So this piece is cut 2 1/2 by 4. And then the piece that goes on the front, you could use a different piece of designer series paper. This is cut, let's get my ruler here. This is cut 3 3/4 by 2 1/2. Isn't that pretty? Gosh, I just love the petal pink and just different colors in this. It looks like waves. All right, which way do we want to go? Maybe that way? Don't know that there's a right and a wrong way other than the waves are going the way they should go. And then this piece, you could, like I said, you could use a different piece of designer series paper for the front. So we'll take and adhere that like that. Okay, And then I've got a piece of basic white that I cut 4 inches by 5 1/4. And it's going to go on the inside of the card. So if you want to do some stamping on that inside of the card, I'm going to use crumb cake, I think. And I'm just going to stamp down here in the bottom left-hand corner, because it won't be seen, these seashells and some it's the sand. I just love that stamp. It's perfect for the inside of the card. I've also used it on the front of a card base. I've been having fun playing with this suite already. All right. So that's the inside of the card. So now we can decorate the front. Now what I thought I would do is do some heat embossing. And I'm going to stamp this pearl and heat emboss it in gold. So let's see what that's my thought. Like I said, I've said this before. Sometimes I have ideas. Sometimes they turn out and sometimes they don't. So I'm going to just take and stamp that using Versamark. And then I'm also going to take and stamp the sentiment. And I'm using the sentiment that says, "You are a pearl, rare and precious." I really love it's got a sympathy sentiment as well. This is a perfect suite for sympathy cards. Okay, let's pull in my embossing powder. I'm using gold embossing powder. And there we go. Oh, stamp that upside down. Good thing I didn't. I'm going to cut it out anyway, but I stamped my sentiment upside down. Okay, so there's that. And now let's just grab my tweezers. Okay, so bring in my heat tool. So this be allowed for a minute and then it hopefully drops off. And we will just take it. So you're just going to hold it in one spot until it starts to melt. And then you can start moving it. So it'll go from this dull matte finish to a shiny glossy gold finish. There we go. And so then you can just start moving it over your paper until the whole thing is gold. And what you don't want to do is hold it in one spot for too long, because it will start to actually absorb into the paper. And you don't want that. If it still looks a little bit dull, just hold your heat tool over it until it gets glossy. All right, so isn't that pretty? Pearl is just, I guess it goes that way. Stamp both of them upside down. All right, I'm just going to let those dry just slightly. Sometimes if they're still hot, they will, you can actually kind of move the embossing, the melted embossing, embossed image around. So you don't want to do that. I always just kind of let it dry. Just going to use a piece of Post-it note tape, and then I will cut this using the die. Oops. There we go. All right, there we go. There's the pearl. And so my thought is, with the Joy Fold, we're just going to put the pearl on like this. I'm going to use dimensionals to pop it up. There's a really cool die that's separate to cut out kind of the same shell that it just cuts out a shape with some embossed images. And you can actually fold this and create kind of a clamshell. And I did this on a card that I'll share in a couple of weeks. There we go. Just put that on there.
that I actually kind of folded over and put a little pearl inside of it. All right, I'm just going to take and just burnish this a little bit more so that it closes. Sometimes you have to, there we go, that's a little better. Okay, so now the ribbon that comes with this suite is this variegated balmy blue ribbon. So it's white and balmy blue. So I'm just gonna take and wrap it around this left edge. And I'm just gonna hopefully tie a bow. Sometimes I worry that I chip myself on ribbon. All right, so you can use, if you need an extra finger to hold that, use these tweezers, just pop them in, hold them right at the point, and then you can manipulate your ribbon much easier. Like having an extra set of hands. I can get hold of that. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to just pull that out, and then I can take and fuss with my ribbon, my bow, like that. There we go. Just so pretty ribbon. There we go. All right. Okay, so now I need a sentiment. Where's my sentiment here? So I'm just going to take, as I often do, and just fussy cut. You could use a die, or you could use a punch. But I'm just going to cut this out in a kind of just around it, just leaving a touch of the border, and it'll go on like that. Thanks, everybody. I just love this suite. When I saw it, oh my gosh, I knew this was going to be the first one on my list, and I was so happy I was able to order it as part of our as a demonstrator. Because I went to the onstage event, I was able to order this as part of the product purchase premiere that they have. Okay, so I'm going to take one of these pearls, and I'm going to put it right there on my embossed pearl, and then I'm just going to take a couple more of the little ones and put, did it go? Where did it go? There it is. Didn't come off. All right, so we'll just take a couple more of them. So kind of a simple card. Joyfold cards are amazing. I love to make joyfold cards, and so this just makes it so easy. When you have a stamp set that is just so beautiful, it's so easy to make really great cards. And then when you open it, I don't have a sentiment in here, but that's okay. I've got lots of room to write a note, but I've got this really pretty seashells in the bottom. Right. So if you want a really easy fancy fold to make, that's one for you, the Joyfold card. And there are different ways that you can make the joy folds and fold that flap over, but it only ever uses a half a sheet of designer series paper, which is great. Yeah, so this will be you'll be able to order this on January 5th, unless you're a demonstrator or you sign up to be a demonstrator, and then of course you can take part in the pre-order, one of the perks of being a demonstrator. And again, if you are interested in the stamp camp on February 10th and 11th, I believe it's a Friday, Saturday in North America, and then it would be 11th and 12th in Australia. You could reach out to me. If you're not in Canada, I can put you in touch with a demonstrator in one of those markets that you can purchase this suite from. I do think that if you're interested, you're going to want to get signed up for the stamp camp as soon as possible. I think this is going to be a really popular suite, and I am a little worried that it's going to go not orderable fairly quickly. And so if you're interested, I've started a pre-registration. You don't have to pay until the beginning of January, but you can pre-register for the event just so that I've got everybody's name on the list and I can get your suites ordered for you so you don't miss out. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. I hope you have a great day. I will be back live on Tuesday at 6:30 Pacific. I had to think about that for a minute with my sketch challenge. Hopefully I'll not forget this time to mute my second device. So apologies for the echo that started off the live. And again, hope you have a great day and happy stamping. Thanks, everybody. Bye.